Hello, and welcome to
Papi Approved Movies.
My name is Papi.
And I'm Natalie.
In our podcast, we will review and critique my favorite PG-13 movies.
Movies that I wasn't allowed to watch until I turned 13.
Every week, Natalie and I will watch a new PG-13 movie.
And I'll see if Papi's movies live up to the hype.
Which of course they will.
Today we're going to be watching The Wedding Singer.
Before we begin, there will be spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie and don't want it to be spoiled,
press pause and come back when you're finished. Now, Papi, tell me the deets on this movie.
Okay. The Wedding Singer came out in 1998 with a runtime of 1 hour and 37 minutes. It's not streaming anywhere. We had to rent it on Amazon. It was written by Tim Herlihy and directed by Frank Corky. The main stars are Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, and Christine Taylor.
Corky?
I know, Corky, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Corgi, like the dog.
Yeah, both of them are kind of Herlihy and Corky. I don't know. Fun facts. This is one of 3 movies in which Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore are love interests. The other 2 are 50 First Dates and Blended. So what do you think, Nat?
Well, I thought it was a kind of forgettable movie.
We just watched it like a couple days ago. How did you forget about it already?
I'm just saying. Exactly. It was just like not very interesting. It was not special.
It wasn't. Okay. All right. What else?
I still thought it was pretty funny, especially when he would like scream, because he had this like quiet, like nonchalant voice, and then he'd randomly start screaming super loud.
That's kind of Adam Sandler's thing, that screaming and the silly talking. So
I kind of like that. But I just thought it was very average and kind of forgettable.
All right. What did you rate it?
I gave it a 3.5 stars.
Oh my goodness. 3.5 stars. I thought you would like it more. I thought you were thinking it was funny. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Dodgeball, which was your favorite movie of all time, I guess. And I don't know. You didn't think so?
No.
All right.
Although, speaking of Dodgeball, that same girl is in this movie.
That's right. The character who plays Holly in this movie is the main character, or one of the main characters from Dodgeball. That's true.
Why don't we get into the recap?
The movie begins in 1985 with Robbie singing at a wedding. Everyone is having a good time, except for the brother. He's not happy. Robbie,
he's going through it.
He's going through it. He does the best man speech, and it's just terrible. He starts talking about how his dad hates him, and I don't know.
His dad is like, correct, son.
That's true. Anyway, so Robbie saves the day when he starts talking about love, and he tells everyone that he's getting married to his fiancée Linda next week.
I was worried that he's going to try to steal the show, but he didn't.
Nah, I think he was a professional wedding singer. I mean, I think as we see throughout the movie, you can see that he's really good at his job, and he likes doing wedding singers, and he really is happy about love. So
yeah. On
break, Robbie meets his friend Sammy, a limo driver, who tells him about the new waitress, Julia, and how he will make her his.
No!
Okay, there goes the conquest situation.
No!
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Not again!
Yeah, there's always that movie where like, hey, I will take her. She will be my trophy kind of thing, right?
Stop it!
Women are not objects. Julia and Holly, her cousin, who is also a waitress, talk about Julia's fiancé, Glenn.
I didn't know that they were, like, related.
I thought they were sisters, and then I looked it up, and they said they were cousins. So.
I just thought they were really good friends.
Yeah. Anyways, they were talking about Julia's fiancé, Glenn, and Julia's frustrated because he will not set a wedding date.
Which is already a red flag.
Yeah, they were engaged, 2 years, I think they were saying?
Yeah, like, what? How does that even work? You're just like, marry me, but like, in a few years, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, whenever. Yeah, no rush.
And since it's probably in the olden days, or I guess just more things were traditional in 1998.
I don't know. Well,
the
movie came out in 98, but it took place in 1885, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that, like, it would probably be that she didn't propose. Like, he was most likely the one who proposed to her. And
yeah, probably, right?
So, like, you would think you wanted to set a date because he's the one who asked her to marry him.
You know, when we were watching this movie, because it was all about the 80s,
mm-hmm.
and, like, that movie happened 25 years ago, and it's still all about the 80s now, right? Stranger Things and a whole bunch of things that take place in the 80s. Like people,
even like style now. It's like we went to the store and there was like 50 bell bottoms.
Yeah, well, I don't know they're from before the 80s, but I think they probably did have a comeback in the 80s. But it's funny how the 80s is like this epic time in like cinematic history that people just want to always go back to. And
the 80s is so romanticized.
So, yeah, big time. And this movie only was, 9 years away from the 80s, and they were already making 80s movies in the 90s,
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But you were born somewhere in the 80s, so that means you're cool.
I wasn't born in the 80s. I was born before the 80s, but I lived in the 80s.
Don't say that, Dad. Now you know you're extra old.
No, I'm extra cool. That's what that means.
You're a retro.
I'm vintage is what I am, vintage. Robbie and Julia meet out back by the dumpster where Robbie is helping a boy feel better after drinking too much alcohol. No. Another alcohol throw-up scene, Natalie.
And there's another one later in this movie.
They have another one. So there you go.
More vomiting. Come to Papi Approved Movies to listen about movies that have a lot of throw-up.
A lot of throw-up and alcohol. So when you turn 21, Natalie, for the first time ever and have your alcoholic beverage, remember, that's what's going to happen. You drink it, and then 5 seconds later, you throw up. That's how it works.
I don't think so, Daddy.
I think so.
I think you're lying.
I think so. Anyway, so Robbie and Julia are on the back, and they actually have a nice little conversation. Kind of not flirty, but like really friendly. You know what I mean?
Like they're becoming besties. Yay, friendship.
Friendship. The next day, Robbie is giving Rosie, an elderly lady, singing lesson so she can sing to her husband a song on their 50th wedding anniversary.
Her husband's name is like Frank. And have you ever seen like a young person named Frank? Like,
no.
Franks are only old men.
Yeah, I don't know too many Franks. Watch. On the podcast, someone's like, I'm Frank. They're listening. And I'm 23 years old.
They're so offended.
Yeah, so hurt right now. I'm not old. Anyways, Robbie has to leave, but not before she pays him in meatballs. So he's not even taking money for it. She's just making him meatballs. And he has to eat one before he goes, right? She like asks him to put it in his mouth.
And there's like no spaghetti, bro.
No, just meatballs.
Just meatballs.
It's funny. But it kind of shows like, oh, Robbie's a real sweet guy. He's willing to help out the community, and he's doing it for free kind of thing.
Yeah.
At Robbie's wedding, Robbie waits for Linda, and she doesn't come. She leaves him at the altar. They talk later, and she tells him that she doesn't want to marry Robbie, the wedding singer, and she's still in love with Robbie the rock star.
Which doesn't make sense.
He's crushed. Yeah, it's messed up, right?
He's still a singer.
Yeah, but I think she thought he was cool. Wedding singers are not cool.
I still hate her.
Yeah, no, me too. She's awful.
And then she's like tries to justify it, and she's like, I'm not in love with you. You were all like happy about this wedding and stuff. Like he said, like, couldn't this have happened 2 days before?
Yeah, like, couldn't you have said something yesterday? And he screams it out. Yeah. The sad thing is he was still hopeful that it was okay. Like, he was worried about her, and then he was willing to forgive her. And then when she talked to him about it, then he realized that she's definitely not the one.
It's not me, it's you.
We meet Glenn, who comes and brings Julia flowers and says that he wants to elope in Las Vegas. She agrees, but she looks upset about it. So he says they can have their wedding in their hometown, just to make her happy.
I bet this is some sort of manipulation. Like, I bet he knew that she wasn't gonna want to go to Vegas, so he's just seeming like the good guy, letting her do it at home, when that's what they were gonna do in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, from the first minute that we meet him, we know he's a total jerk, right?
I just feel the manipulation through the screen.
Yeah, definitely. Sammy goes to see Robbie, who's living in his sister's basement. He's sulking and depressed on his bed. Sammy tells him to go out there and meet girls. Robbie doesn't want to, though.
Would you? I don't think that's the best advice. You wouldn't have someone go out just after they got left at the altar.
You know, so okay, probably not. But I think there is a mentality that some men have where you are heartbroken, and so you just go meet someone and have a rebound. Like, have a rebound relationship, meet someone, hang out with them, and then forget about your love. It's not a real good way to deal with the problem, but that's kind of like a distraction that help them, get their mind off the situation.
But then I feel like you become dependent on someone,
Yeah, I mean, he needed to figure out how to before. And that's not easy. He got dumped on the altar. He was going to marry her, right?
Yeah, that's not even like a breakup. Oh no, that's like we were gonna get married,
And
bro.
all his family was there. You know what I mean? His mother, his father, probably everybody he knew.
Even George.
Even George, his bandmate, was there.
Which I'm shocked that he wasn't one of the groomsmen, because he's always hanging out with George.
Yeah, it's funny. The next weekend, Robbie is singing at another wedding, and it goes terribly. He's bitter and sings sad and angry songs. The father of the bride has enough and punches him out.
No!
He just punches him right in the nose.
You would probably do that if some wedding singer was at my wedding going
punch
crazy.
him in the face?
Yeah.
Yes, probably.
I ask you to not do so and to dispose of him lacely.
No, me and Tio Issa will take him out back and just take care of it.
Throw him in the dumpster that the kid threw up in earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Which we end up seeing. That's what happens to him, right?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So yeah, they punch him out and they throw him in the dumpster. And outside, Julius finds him in the dumpster and they start to talk. She tries to cheer him up, not really well because he's so sad, and invites him to her engagement party.
What a thing to invite him to.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, oh, your girlfriend or your fiance just broke up with you. You want to come to my engagement party? Like,
Yeah.
it's very weird. So, and it's an engagement party. Why are they having an engagement party?
After 2 years.
Yeah, I just
I was thinking it was more like a bachelor party, but like, no, it's an engagement party because all the people were there. And I was
Yeah.
like, what is going on? It's
Shit,
so random. It was just thrown in there as a plot device.
yeah, definitely. I mean, now that's funny. I'm reading about it. I'm like, yeah, it's not how you gonna have an engagement. They had the engagement party like years ago. You know,
Yeah.
right?
They're just like, round 2, everybody. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, but she's like, yeah, I know you're sad, so why don't you come see me be happy in love? I don't know. Whatever.
It was kind of funny.
At the engagement party, Robbie and Sammy realize that Glenn is just an awful guy.
And Sammy's like Michael Jackson.
And Sammy comes in dressed like Michael Jackson. Yeah.
With one glove.
With one glove. It was funny. That actor is really funny. It cracks me up. Glenn also tells Julia he doesn't want to help with any of the planning because he doesn't care. And the wedding is mostly for her anyways. She's upset and talks to Robbie about it. And he gives her good advice about centerpieces that will save her some money.
I don't know why he knows all about the flowers and stuff, though. He just sings at the weddings. He doesn't, like, plan them, or does he?
No, but he's around weddings all the time.
I guess he would know a lot after a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Robbie decides to never work at a wedding again, so he gets his next job at a bar mitzvah. There, with Julia's help, he helps the little boy look cool so he can impress his crush. After the party, Julia thanks him for his advice about the centerpieces and asks him to help her with the wedding planning. He says no at first, but then he gives in and says yes.
I think, is this the part where George had all the instruments?
Maybe. Yeah, George is a very talented musician.
I was about to say, I'm like, this mad respect to George. He's so talented. And he can just switch between his instruments.
You know, George is like this funny side character, not really... I don't even hear him. Does he talk other than singing the song?
The one song that
he sings a song. He sings it over again. And it's kind of a funny thing. And then he plays the instruments and he's there. He tries on a wedding dress later, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't put him in the notes because he didn't move the story along.
But I like George.
Yeah, but obviously you're a big fan of George. So you brought him up not once, but twice. So
George is just a funny character.
He's just a funny character, yeah. Then Robbie and Julia start making wedding plans together. They go to a photographer, a wedding singer, a cake testing session, dress fitting, and they end up testing Sammy as a limo driver. All the while they begin to really talk to each other. Robbie tells Julia that he really wants to be a songwriter. Julia, who's having second thoughts about Glenn, asks Robbie, how did he know that Linda was the one? He realizes that she wasn't, and there was a million little things that he did not recognize. Like giving up the window seat on a plane. Robbie and Julia are falling in love at this point. They're having like heart-to-hearts, you know? So
Yeah.
I think this is where they really start connecting.
Friendship. Yay.
Friendship. Yeah. The next day, Holly and Julia are talking about the appropriate wedding kiss when Robbie comes over to return Julia's jacket. You like that jacket Julia had?
Yeah, it was really cool.
The butterflies on the back?
Uh-huh.
I read about it, that jacket actually was Drew Barrymore's, the actress's jacket.
Uh-huh.
And she liked it so much, and the director liked it so much that he had her use it in the movie. So
I wonder if, like, the company that sold it, because she probably just got it from, like, a store, you know?
probably, yeah.
Is that whatever store that was selling it got like a lot of business.
Maybe it's a cute jacket, yeah.
It basically just becomes rich from the movie after it came out.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, he comes over to drop off her jacket, and Holly coaxes them to demonstrate a kiss. They do, and the kiss is passionate and real.
Cheating!
Holly,
Cheating!
inappropriate? That is cheating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, totally, huh? Yeah, and I didn't even think about it until just right there.
You didn't think that them kissing while she's engaged was cheating?
Because it wasn't a kiss like they liked each other. They were just doing like a test. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't seem like there wasn't I mean, obviously it was passion. They ended up
Friendship.
they ended up falling in love after the kiss. Holly falls for Robbie after watching the kiss. So Holly thinks it's very passionate and believes that it's real too. And she asks Julia if it's okay for her to ask him out.
But she wasn't like falling in love with Robbie.
No, but she saw the kiss and she thought, whoa, this guy's passionate. Maybe she thought he could be with her.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Julia says yes, but she looks jealous doing so. Glenn and Julia, and Robbie and Holly all go out on a double date. Holly's putting it on thick and is making Julia visibly jealous. Julia gets drunk and she and Holly go to the bathroom.
Where she throws up.
On
On her shoes.
her shoes.
Which is a common theme.
She does throw up on her shoes. And it's funny because she said, I threw up on your shoes. I'm sorry you threw up on my shoes. And then she's like, it's okay, they were your shoes. She had borrowed her shoes. That didn't matter to her. That's funny. Then Glenn and Robbie talk, and he talks about how he cheats on Julia all the time, and that he'll continue to do so after they're married.
Which is so dumb, because it's dumb that he told Robbie about this.
Yeah, because they're not friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, Robbie and Julia are friends, so he might tell Julia. I mean, he didn't, but, like...
Yeah, well, you know, so here, let's stand up. So, Robbie's angry, but he doesn't say anything. He doesn't tell Julia, or he doesn't even stand up for Julia to Glenn. Like, he'd be like, hey, bro, that's messed up. Why would you do something like that?
Yeah. I think he actually did say later in the movie, he was like, who am I to break up someone's marriage?
Yeah, but the guy's a jerk. Like, why not? It's not him that's breaking up the marriage.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he could have just said, hey, Glenn is cheating on you. And he's still cheating on you. And the guy's a jerk. And then later on, spoilers, we see him with girls.
Yeah.
And he could have just told her about that then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think he should have said something, so. Robbie takes Holly home, and she wants him to come up, but he doesn't want to. She realizes that he loves Julia. She tells him that every girl needs more than just love. They need stability and security. He needs to have a job and money.
Which I don't know why she told him this.
Well, I thought that was weird. I also thought she was maybe sabotaging. But then there's a scene later when she tells Julia what she told him.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, why did you say that? I don't want him for his money. And then she said, then why do you want to marry him?
Oh, so maybe she...
I think Holly didn't understand why anybody would want to marry Glenn. The guy's a jerk, other than the fact that maybe she had money.
Because he's just such a jerk and everyone else could see it except for Julia for some reason.
Yeah, no, it's true, right? So if you're not going to do it, okay, so you deal with the jerk if it's going to be about the money, but otherwise, why would you be with him? So later, Robbie goes into the city and tries to get a job at the bank, and they kick him out. He comes home and Julia's waiting for him. He calls her out for marrying Glenn for his money and she gets upset. She was there to give him a sheet music with his name on it she made for him. He realizes that he was being a jerk.
Which he kind of was.
He was. I think so. He was just angry, right? Like he really likes her and he feels like he can't. I don't know. He was a jerk. That was kind of out of character, huh?
Yeah. And it was weird because he's like, it's because you like material things, blah, blah. But, sir, weren't you the one who was getting a job just so that, like, you could still be with her? Like, why are you getting all angry with her now? You were even trying to get, like, a job to impress her.
Right. He just didn't get it, and I think maybe he has made him upset. He got kicked out of the bank. Robbie and Tammy go to the bar together, and they have a heart-to-heart. Robbie says he will be just like the Fonz and hook up with a lot of different girls. Tammy tells him that life is miserable, and if he loves her, go out and fight for her. So Robbie leaves and he goes to Julia to profess his love and sees her in the window wearing a wedding dress, acting all happy. What he didn't know was that she was thinking about him at that time.
There's so much miscommunication in this movie.
The next two scenes are both about miscommunication, right?
It's just kind of, it's just too much miscommunication.
Too much. That's part of the movie, right? You need to have the drama. He goes home sad, and Linda is waiting for him to get back with him. He passes out, and she brings him inside. So there's Linda coming back. She loves him.
Which is so bad because she's taking advantage of him because he's drunk.
Well, yeah. Who knows what would have happened if he wasn't drunk, but I think she's taking advantage of him because he probably still loves her in some way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously she's taking advantage of him. Julia, having realized that she's in love with Robbie, goes to his house, and Linda opens the door in her underwear. Julia leaves and asks Glenn to go to Las Vegas to elope. Robbie wakes up and kicks Linda out. There's the other miscommunication, right?
Yeah.
Kicks her out, which was a nice moment. Like, get out of here. I don't want to be with you. You don't love me.
And give me back my shirt.
Why do you think she wants to go to Las Vegas all of a sudden? Get married a day before the wedding.
Probably because she's like, oh, well, I guess that situation's not going to happen with Robbie, so I might as well just get my marriage ready and done with.
That's weird, because the wedding was the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Robbie and Sammy go to Rosie's wedding, where she sings Frankie, her husband, the song they have been practicing. Holly tells him that Julie is leaving for Las Vegas right now, and Robbie and Sammy drive to the airport. There, Robbie gets the only seat available, and it's in first class.
With Sammy's credit card.
Sammy's credit card.
Oh, yeah.
On the airplane, Julia asks for the window seat. Glenn says no. He says he doesn't like the aisle because he gets hit by the drink cart every time it goes by.
Yeah.
And then we see Julia get hit by the drink cart later on, huh?
Which is so funny because now I feel like we're fighting over the aisle seat.
I mean, anytime you guys go anywhere, you and your sister, who sits in the window seat?
Sophia always gets the window seat.
You want it or you don't care?
Sometimes I want it, but then half the time I just end up sleeping, so it's like it doesn't matter.
I like the aisle seat. More leg room a little bit.
I just don't like when Sophia gets to the window seat because she keeps it open the whole time. And that means it's light inside the plane the whole time. And I can't sleep.
You should tell her that. Maybe. In first class, Robbie starts to talk to everyone on the plane about his situation. And quickly, they are all on his side, including rock star legend Billy Idol.
I don't know who Billy Idol is.
Yeah, he's a pretty popular rock star at the time. Cool looking dude, like a punk rocker.
Was that actually Billy Idol that played his part?
Yeah.
The
cool. Actor is the person, yeah.
That makes sense. Because I recently watched a movie in class, and there was a Michael Jordan in it, and it wasn't Michael Jordan that was playing.
It was a fake
character.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah. I was like, that's not the real guy.
That's funny. Robbie realizes that he's on the same flight as Julia, and with the help of Billy Idol and the crew, he sings a song that he wrote for Julia over the intercom. She instantly recognizes it's Robbie, and he comes out of first class playing the song on a guitar. Glenn
Where did he get the guitar from?
Billy Idol.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking at first. I'm like, no, Billy Idol probably has his guitar on him at all times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, he's like a rock star.
He sleeps with it in his arms.
Yeah, so I wonder if that was actually Billy Idol's guitar, on the set of the movie.
Yeah.
So Robbie's playing the guitar, and Glenn tries to stop him, but he's pushed and locked into the bathroom.
At first, I didn't realize it was a bathroom. I'm like, did they just push him off the plane?
Out of the plane?
Yeah. Is he just dead now?
That would have been a good story, right? Like, if they just do it out of the plane, yeah.
I was so concerned.
Robbie comes up to Julia, and they profess their love to each other. The next scene is their wedding, and they kiss. The end. Do you think that their wedding was the next day?
No.
You don't think so? Because she planned the whole wedding.
Maybe it was.
I do wonder. Wouldn't that be interesting if that were the case?
That would be funny. All the relatives show up and they see a different man.
They're like, hi. Even Glenn's family shows up. You're like, where's Glenn? Oh,
he's outside the plane.
Yeah, he's flying. He's stuck in a bathroom on an airplane right now.
He's dead.
Okay. I like this movie. I think this movie is super funny. Sophia was cracking up. She
cracks up at everything.
I know, but she does.
If you bring her in here, she'll be like 2 stars.
No, I bet you should give it a better star than that. Wanna make a bet? See what she says.
I bet you 1 hug.
1 hug. Okay. Sophia, what do you give wedding singers? Stars. I give 4. Okay, thank you. The telegram just came in with the results. And
yeah, we just finished our call, business meeting.
We just made a business meeting with Sophia, and she gave it a 4-star. 4-star.
I bet she overheard it and did that to spite me.
Maybe. She got the podcast before anyone else and heard it before I even edited it, and that's what she did, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Could this movie still be made today?
Probably. But I think that Glenn's whole character, his whole toxic thing, that was his character. Like, he was supposed to be that way, you know?
Right.
But I did think that the whole cheating situation was, like, not him specifically, because he was obviously a villain, but, like, all the girls he was with, they didn't care about that he was cheating. Like, in the, what's it called, with Ramona?
Scott Pilgrim.
Since Scott Pilgrim, it's like he's cheating on both girls. Like, so Glenn is also cheating on both girls. These girls, like, don't care at all. And it's just like, they probably know that he's engaged or he's with another girl just by who he is. And they don't care at all. And I don't think that's like,
it
doesn't make sense to me.
You and I have had a lot of discussions about cheating. It's funny how we bring... It always comes up to cheating, right?
And vomit.
Cheating and vomit. Those are the themes of Papi approved movies. But so, for example, if someone kisses Glenn, she's not cheating, and he's not cheating on her, as long as they know
the girl's cheating with.
Yeah,
him.
but she's not the cheater.
She's not the cheater, but she's also getting cheated on.
If she knows that, okay, like. This girl comes up to him, knows that he's engaged. She doesn't care, kisses him anyways. She's not being cheated on.
Yeah, I guess that's
true. I know
true.
Scott Pilgrim thought so. Scott Pilgrim was kind of going out with both girls at the same time, so he was cheating on them both, right?
His was a different situation.
Yeah. But it's a questionable thing. And then at the end of the day, nobody's at fault except for him. It's just he's a jerk, so.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that Linda... her whole situation with taking advantage of him, I thought that was messed up. Yeah. Especially because he was, like, drunk. And, like, that makes things 10 times worse. Because he's, like, half control of what he says.
You think they hooked up that night?
No, I think that she just... Even still, I think she took advantage of him.
Just to go in his room in his house? Yeah. Wear his shirt?
Yeah, I think that's... Okay. I still think that's taking advantage of him.
Okay.
And then I also think that Sammy is messed up sometimes.
Yeah, Sammy was. He had his arc too.
Yeah.
Right? Because in the beginning he was like, I'm going to hook up with chicks.
Character improvement.
Yeah, reform, right? He like fixed himself. Or no, he didn't fix himself because he didn't want anyone to know what he said.
Yeah.
And then the only reason he paid for the ticket was when Robbie blackmailed him saying, I'll tell everybody what you said at the bar.
Yeah.
So he didn't really reform. Maybe in his heart he did, but... he was still going to probably go back to acting like the Fonz.
And if you reform in your heart, but you don't actually do anything about it, that's not reforming.
Yeah, you're right. Sammy was pretty awful.
Yeah. And he's supposed to be a good guy. Like, no.
That's true. That's a good point. He's one of the good guys. Well, I don't know if he's the good guy. He's kind of like
he's on the good side.
He's on the good side, yeah, definitely. Because he's Robbie's friend, so.
But yeah, I don't think that he should have been... like, I don't think that a good guy should be like that in a movie.
Sure. I get that. Anything else?
Nah.
Does it pass the Bechdel test?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I did not see this coming. Okay.
What a change of events.
All right. Bechdel test is...
a 3-part test about female representation in movies. There are 3 criteria.
All right.
First, I'm taking over your job.
Sure. I was just going to sit down and have some water. Go ahead.
The first part is...
there are 2 named females. All right. I didn't lose my job after all. 2 named females in the movie.
Yet. The power of yet.
The power of yet. Shout out to Mrs. A. Go ahead.
There's Linda. There's Holly. There's...
how about the main character? No? Julia. There's Rosie.
Oh, yeah, Rosie.
All right. Criteria number 2, do they talk to each other?
Yeah, Rosie talks to Julia. And then since Holly and Julia are best friends, they always talk to each other.
All right. And do they talk to each other about anything other than a man?
After they all got drunk, then Julia was like, "Did I throw up on you?" And then
Back to the throw.
and then Holly was like, "Only your shoes."
All right, so it does pass the Bechdel test.
Yay!
There you go. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in to Papi Approved Movies.
If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast app.
We put out an episode every Monday. If you want to suggest a movie for us to watch and critique,
email us at papiapprovedmovies@gmail.com.
that's papiapprovedmovies@gmail.com. No spaces, no caps.
We'll try our best to get to your suggestions.
And remember, it has to be PG-13.
Next time, we're watching Legally Blonde, so I hope you join us.
I'm Papi.
And I'm Natalie.
See you next time.
Bye!